Well, hello, my friends. Tonight we're broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube worldwide. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight to episode number 37 of Let Me Tell You a Story. I'm Bavali Bernstein. Well, for the last 8 weeks, I've been highlighting the nominees for the upcoming second annual Bavali Bernstein Facebook page awards. Isn't that a beautiful? Well, tonight I'll be highlighting the four nominees in the categories of most relevant, the last four out of the 36 nominees to be highlighted. The word dictionary defines the word relevant as having direct bearing on the matter at hand. It's also another word for distinctive. These four nominees tonight are no doubt relevant, each in their own individual way. They're most certainly relevant here on Facebook, as well as in their own communities, including their contribution to the arts. So let's kick off tonight's highlight for the category most relevant for the second annual Bavali Bernstein Facebook Page Award by starting with Diva Tyler. Diva Tyler is originally from Jacksonville, Florida, but currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia. She's the CEO at Not On My Watch Endeavors and the co-creator of My Own Reality at the Universe. Diva Tyler is not only a smart businesswoman, but she's a cheerful giver. During the cold winter months in Atlanta, you can find Diva Tyler donating blankets and freely feeding the homeless, while all at the same time looking flawless and very much like a diva. Diva Tyler is also an advocate for children, encouraging them to follow their dreams. In addition, Diva Tyler is one hell of an actress who's in demand. She's appeared in a number of stage plays and movies, which includes HBO's Eastbound, where she played along with Will Ferrell and Danny McBride. Diva Tyler also played the role of Old Lady Coleman in the horror flick Prosper, and she most recently appeared in the major motion picture Identity Theft, along with a host of other roles added to her credit. I learned of Diva Tyler about a year ago when she was promoted as one of the 777 faces during my You're in Motion campaign. As I researched her photos here on Facebook, I realized just how classy and talented this Diva Tyler was. She certainly does give meaning to the word diva, and her presence here on Facebook certainly can't be denied. This is why Diva Tyler is a nominee for the category of Most Relevant for the upcoming second annual BBFP Awards. Filmmaker Algie Sila. Filmmaker Algie Sila is originally from Freetown, Sierra Leone, West Africa. He currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia. Filmmaker Algie Sila holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree from American Continental University. Filmmaker Algie Sila is a brother certainly on the move. I had the opportunity to personally meet filmmaker Algie Sila about 2 years ago when he supported my plans for a project that I was working on at the time, Mama Don't Go. As I sat in the presence of this young man and watched his demeanor as I disclosed my plans, I could tell that I was in no doubt dealing with a true professional. That sentiment proved to be true as I continue following filmmaker Algie Sila's career here on Facebook over the last 2 years. Through his Facebook page, I learned about the number of projects that he's worked on as a filmmaker, such as the television series Atlanta Heat, the TV series Changes, Breeze, the feature film, and Fate of Love, the indie film, along with a number of other projects that he's worked on as a filmmaker. Since 2010, filmmaker Algie Sila has produced over 30 projects. Not only is he a great filmmaker, but he's a great poet, director, and songwriter. He's also a great host and can often be found with a microphone in his hand at many red carpet events throughout Atlanta. What can you say about filmmaker Algie Sila? He no doubt has an eye on the prize. His creative vision and positive, persistent attitude is certainly paying off for him. To be able to tell a story through filmmaking is an incredible gift, and I'm certain that filmmaker Algie Sila is aware of the talents and gifts that have been bestowed upon him by the Creator. He certainly displays them through his fine work. This is why filmmaker Algie Sila is a nominee for the category of Most Relevant for the upcoming second annual BBFBP Awards. Filmmaker Bobby Peoples. Filmmaker Bobby Peoples is originally from Richmond, Virginia, and currently lives in Atlanta, where he studied film at the Art Institute of Atlanta. He's the co-founder at Tinseltown Studios and CEO at the Peoples Network. I did a story on Bobby Peoples on my show some while ago and learned quite a bit about him. He's a mentor to many in the film industry and has given many young talents the opportunity to appear in his films. Filmmaker Bobby People is no doubt headed for big things. Some of his work that he's had the opportunity to produce includes Chronicles of Passion, Love Atlanta Style, For Thy Love, and his most recent film, Secured Tightly. Filmmaker Bobby Peoples is a two-time nominee this year for the upcoming second annual BBP Awards, nominated in the category of Most Accomplished and tonight's category Most Relative. I began following filmmaker Bobby Peoples here on Facebook over a year ago. The postings of his ongoing auditions for his many projects caught my attention, which eventually led me to highlight him in the earlier episodes of Let Me Tell You a Story, which I entitled Me and Mrs. Peoples. It was a twist on his bio, which simply highlighted his career along with his wife and co-owner Renee Warren Peoples. Together, the two of them have created Tinseltown Studios, which offers a number of services from movie screenings, seminars, plays, video reels, video auditions, rehearsal space, after school, and summer camps. Filmmaker Bobby Peoples' Tinseltown Studios is making dreams come true while producing a better world. I've always been admired by those who set their goals and move in the direction to accomplish them. As I've scanned filmmaker Bobby Peoples' many photos here on Facebook, I noticed that he is associated with a number of the nominees this year, as several has even worked on a number of his own projects. It's very hard to miss Bobby Peoples here on Facebook since he consistently uses this platform as a marketing tool to promote his many projects and events. It takes a lot of time, sacrifice, investment, and support for one to accomplish their goals. And I can only imagine that for filmmaker Bobby Peoples to be where he is today as a filmmaker, he was met with a number of obstacles. However, through his determination and the grace of God, he is where he is today, a great teacher and filmmaker. This is why filmmaker Bobby Peoples is a nominee for the category of Most Relevant. Playwright T.Y. Martin. Playwright T.Y. Martin is from Cleveland, Ohio, and currently resides here in Kennesaw, Georgia. He's the owner of T.Y. Martin Studios and known around the country and abroad as a great playwright who, over the last 5 years, has won the Playwright of the Year award. This year, he's been nominated twice for the BBFP award for the categories of Most Accomplished and tonight's category Most Relevant. Playwright T.Y. Martin has produced more than 45 plays during his career. Some of those plays include Lord, Why Me?, They Rose Above It All, You Abandoned Me, The Hymn of His Garden, and coming on November the 2nd in Atlanta at the 444 Theater, he will present the anticipated uplifting spirit-filled stage play, Hush. I've been following playwright T. Martin for more than 2 years now. I was encouraged by the fact that he was a man who was doing what he loved to do and was affecting others in a mighty way, including me. I can recall the time when I first joined Facebook over 2 years ago and I began to follow playwright T.Y. Martin and all the work and attention he was getting. I wanted to know what made him tick, so I continued to follow him. I eventually mustered up the courage to inbox him about my project that I was working on with the hopes of getting him to assist me in directing. He eventually inboxed me back and related his phone number for me to call at an appointed time. Again, I mustered up the courage to call the man. When I finally got him on the phone, I said to him, this is Bavali Bernstein. I was told to call you. Bavali who? I can't talk right now, and hung up the phone. I said, well, and then I came to the realization that this man had no idea who I was and was busy with his schedule. He probably forgot he even gave me the number. Of course, you'd have to keep in mind that at the time, the name Bavali Bernstein here on Facebook meant nothing, but I established my presence. I did, however, inbox him right back after the phone call to inform him that it was me who was just called him and had an appointment to speak. Within the hour, he inboxed me back and explained to me that he had just prepared himself for a shower and honestly couldn't talk at the time. Of course, I understood. Nevertheless, I continued to follow playwright T.Y. Martin here on Facebook as I continued to be impressed by his consistency and producing his stage plays. As I researched his Facebook page and his photos, I also learned that the brother had a strong fashion sense and he seemed to be everywhere. There is no doubt that when you hear the name playwright T.Y. Martin, you think of great plays. Not too long, he inboxed me and asked me, can I ask you something? I responded, of course. He went on to ask, how come I never ever see you at any of their functions here in Atlanta? I responded back, because I'm not as popular as you. We both responded with an LOL low in our text messages. Who knows, perhaps one day I'll get a chance to work with this great talent. He certainly has established himself as a great playwright. This is why playwright T.Y. Martin is a nominee for the category of Most Relevant for the second annual Bavali Bernstein Facebook Page Award. Double nominee, matter of fact. So there you have it. The 4 nominees for the category of Most Relevant. Again, that's Diva Tyler, filmmaker Algie Silla, filmmaker Bobby Peebles, and playwright T.Y. Martin. Starting tomorrow night and throughout next week, I'll replay the last 9 episodes of Let Me Tell You Stories, which are the highlights of these nominees. And of course, this is the final opportunity to cast your likes or comments to support your favorite nominees for the second annual Bavali Bernstein Facebook Page Awards coming up here on my page on November 4th at 9 p.m. Who will win? You just have to tune in to find out. Again, I'm Bavali Bernstein, and thank you for watching. And good night. And thank you, God, for the breath tonight. Thank you for watching.